What's going on YouTube? This is just my friendly reminder that this video will be ad-free for 5 days, so be sure you're subscribed. In this video, we're going to take a look at breaking down some of the basics for the OEM EVO 8 and 9 headlights here in the United States. So this video is more of an overview. It's not really as much a deep dive as I've done in the past, especially like on my taillights video, because there's just a lot of other components, a lot of other things involved, especially when it comes to the different markets and the price points of headlights versus taillights. But hopefully you guys will find this valuable, and if there's more information you want to know, of course, just leave a comment in the comment section and maybe I'll be able to dig into whatever you want to learn in a video in the future. So that's it for my quick introduction, and I will cut into the video. So let's start with the basics of the USDM EVO 8 or 9 headlights. All EVO 8 and EVO 9 headlights have halogen high beam bulbs. However, for low beams, many EVOs came with high intensity discharge bulbs, also known as HIDs. So the high beams are located in the middle of the headlight, while the low beams are on the outermost part of the headlight. And if you have fog lights, they are on the innermost part of the headlight. So you have an EVO in the US and you're wondering, well, are my headlights HIDs? Well, if you have a 2003 EVO, yes, HIDs came standard on all 2003 EVOs. And if you had a 2004, you most likely have HID headlights as well, unless you have the RS trim. All RS trim EVO 8s and EVO 9s do not have HID headlights. And also, if you don't have HID headlights, that means you don't have fog lights either. And if you have a 2005 EVO 8 or a 2006 EVO 9, you only have HID headlights if you have the MR or SE trim or the SSL package. The RS trim and the base trim, also known as the GSR, came standard with halogen bulbs. And a side note, the SE trim was only available in EVO 9s. So how can I be sure I have HIDs? If you think your headlights have been swapped out from the original ones, there are a couple different ways to tell if your car does indeed have HID headlights. The easiest way is to look at the front of your lens and find the Stanley number. It will say Stanley, a couple other numbers, and then it will say either D2S or HB4. If it says D2S, it's the HID headlight, and if it says HB4, it's a non-HID headlight. And just a warning, this is mostly what I found in the US market. Again, it may be different in the European market or the Japanese market. Another way to tell if you have HID headlights is to look at how far out the low beam bulb housing bubble lens is. I'm not sure what the technical name is for bubble lens, but what I'm showing here is that the HID, bulb kind of bubble here sticks out a lot more compared to the non-HID. It's a lot closer to the lens cover. And finally, if you're able to look at the back of the headlight, you'll be able to see some big differences between the two. Most notably, you'll see that the HIDs have this larger housing section for the HID bulbs on the outermost part of the headlight. And also notably, you'll see the cover that's bolted onto the back. Looking at the back of these two headlights here, you can also see that one has the fog light and one does not. Again, the HID headlights will have fog lights, the non-HIDs won't. So do I need to remove my headlights from the car to change the bulbs? Well, if you're talking low beams, yes. You have to remove the front bumper and the headlight to change the low beam bulbs. HID or not, you'll have to pull this headlight out to get access to the bulbs. Fog lights and high beam bulbs can be changed with the headlights still on the car, but it can also be a bit of a tight fit. So what bulb numbers do I need? All EVO 8 and 9 high beams are 9005 bulbs. The low beam non-HID bulbs are 9006. And the low beam HID bulbs are the D2S. And all the fog light bulbs are H11. So how many mounting points does each headlight have? Well, all EVO 8 and 9 headlights have these 4 mounting points. 2 tabs at the top, 1 inside tab, and 1 side mount tab that kind of bolts to the fender. If you are buying a used headlight, be sure to look for all 4 of these tabs to be in place and not cracked. If one tab is broken, the headlight would potentially still work, but fitment would probably always be less than ideal. You can see here with the innermost tab broken from this headlight that the headlight fitment near the front bumper does not look very good. And here I'm just showing how much better it looks when you do have all 4 tabs in place and how the headlight should fit. So are EVO 8 headlights always different from EVO 9 headlights? So yes, in the US market, all the EVO 9 headlights have the black chrome inside look, while the EVO 8 headlights all have the shiny chrome look. And finally, are my headlights JDM? How can you tell if a headlight is a JDM? Well, if the headlights have the orange turn markers on the lower corner, they're either JDM or EDM headlights. All the US market EVO 8 and 9 headlights have the orange upper section in the turn markers. So basically, if you see the orange at the top, it's the US market. If you see the orange at the bottom, it's the JDM or EDM market. But of course, keep in mind that these headlights can be modified. The lenses could be removed and people could insert different colored lenses or remove the orange marker lenses or paint the inside of their chrome headlights a black color. However, a baking process is required to basically separate that lens cover from the headlight. And usually if a headlight lens ever was removed, you can pretty much tell because when they tried to put the headlights back together, there's usually some excess silicone kind of around the seal where the lens would connect back to the base of the headlight. So if you see some excess kind of goo around where the headlight lens combines, you know the headlights were probably once opened up. So that's it, guys. Those are the basics for the OEM US market EVO 8 and 9 headlights. I hope you found this information useful. If you have any other questions about EVO headlights, please let me know in the comments section down below. Also be sure to keep an eye on the video description. If I need to update any information, that's where it will be. And as always, this is Paul from Boosted Film saying thanks so much for watching.